In today's video, we are taking a look at 3 different types of fire extinguishers, how they put out 3 different types of fire, and why. Guys, we are up here at the Dome today with 3 different types of fire extinguishers because we want to take a look at just what's inside them and what kind of fires they can put out. So to start out with, we need some fire. Yay, fire! So first, let's talk about the different types of fire extinguishers you can normally find for your house. This is the most common fire extinguisher you're normally going to find. This is your ABC fire extinguisher. Now, A, B, and C stand for 3 different types of fires. So any type of fire that starts with wood, paper, trash, that's a solid fire, and that's a class A. A class B fire is actually going to be liquids. So if you have a gasoline fire and an oil fire, something like that, you would use this with the type B. You also have the type C, which is an electrical fire. Now, while these can be used on electronics, it's not typically the one that you want to use if you want to save your electronics, because this will actually produce a residue. This is another type of fire extinguisher that's slightly newer in the market. This is specifically made for kitchen grease fires. As far as I'm aware, this is the only UL approved kitchen grease fire extinguisher. The first ingredient in this fire extinguisher is actually sodium bicarbonate, which is just baking soda. Now, this is going to put out any sort of grease fire, supposedly. We're gonna test that. But again, it's gonna ruin your food. This is a third fire extinguisher. A lot of times you can find these in office settings. Now, I've never actually used a Tundra fire extinguisher before. Supposedly this is an aerosol-powered foam spray. Now, I've never used it. I'm not even sure what the ingredients are. I searched and I could not find out online what Tundra uses in their fire extinguishers, so we wanna take a look at it. That's probably enough. Canola oil has a flash point of 619 degrees Fahrenheit and a fire point of 662 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what we're trying to get this to. Now, we also have some handheld flares today. Now, technically, none of our fire extinguishers are made to put out chemical fires, but I want to see if they can. These aren't even road flares. These are marine flares. Never used one of these before. We stepped away for maybe 30 seconds and our oil's on fire. That was fast. Grease fires in the kitchen are extremely dangerous because a lot of times people will panic. They'll try and pick up the pot and throw it outside, but you could splash it, you could spread the fire everywhere or burn yourself. Another problem with grease fires is that people will try and throw water on them. Now, water's not gonna do anything. If it splashes it, it's just gonna make it worse. So that's why you use a dry chemical fire extinguisher or a CO2 fire extinguisher. Either of those will work. We're gonna try one of ours now. That's a lot of fire. That's why you don't throw water on a grease fire. That's not putting it out. What it's doing is it's actually splashing the oil and spreading it around. That one burned itself out because, again, we're not using too much oil. It's time for round 2. So last time it took us about 2.5 minutes with our oil on top of our forge to hit that flash point in auto ignition. We're at 47 seconds, it's bubbling. No smoke yet though. 5 minutes. There we go. 5 minutes, 21 seconds. So now we're gonna use our fire extinguisher that's specifically made for fires of these types. I'm gonna try and catch some of our baking soda and the other ingredients in one of the bowls to look at in a bit. Now, these cans, a lot of people think that they spray for quite a long time. They actually have about 8 to 10 seconds of spray time, so you need to move quick. Aim for the base of your fire from about 5 to 6 feet away. Make sure that you put the whole thing out. Usually you wanna make sure that you're aiming all of it into the container before you back away. But like I said, we're gonna let a lot of this burn off, and then I'll try and capture some as well. Well, that is very useful. This is a good example of why CO2 fire extinguishers are sometimes nice. Yes, that put out our fire very, very quickly, but if that was dinner, now it's covered in baking soda. And so is your entire kitchen. So here's what you're gonna find if you ever discharge a kitchen fire extinguisher. So it's not that foam and it's not water like you might see in movies, it's a dry chemical. Now this is a bit of an irritant, so I actually held my breath when I was over there, got out of the dust cloud very quick, because while it's not going to be too hurtful for you, it can cause irritation to your eyes and lungs. You don't want to breathe it in. I do have quite a bit of water with me, and water does put out solid fires. But I want to test our fire extinguisher that's specifically made for it, our ABC fire extinguisher. Now the main ingredient in this one, like I said before, is monoammonium phosphate. Again, I'm going to spray the fire and then I'm going to try and capture some of this so we can look at it afterwards too. So for this one, you're going to stand 6 feet back, so it's a little bit farther back than you need to be with your kitchen fire. You aim at the base of the fire, never at the top of the flames. That was so fast. Now this you absolutely do not want to breathe in. Spray and then get away. We have our 2 different types of dry powder fire extinguisher substances here. You can already see the difference. So this one you can see the monoammonium phosphate already has that strange yellowish tinge. This one, baking soda. So now I want to put this through a few other tests. This stuff is not supposed to be able to put out a gas fire. I still want to put some in our forge just to see what it does. So first I'm just going to try sprinkling some of this in there. Now again, main ingredient is baking soda. Oh. Well, that was awesome. It actually did dampen the flames for a little bit. Wow, that is a much cooler reaction than I was expecting. I'm just wondering if it's the quantity or if this is a small enough contained fire that it's easy enough for the ingredients to just snuff it out. This again would be your normal kitchen fire extinguisher that's used for grease fires. Let's try our ABC fire extinguisher. Well, that's awesome. This is actually changing the color of the flames. I don't know why, but that's awesome. So we've already seen that tossing in a little bit of our fire extinguishing powder will put out our gas flames for just a couple of seconds. I'm actually going to try and pour it into a crucible and superheat it just to see what it does. Not expecting any huge reactions here, because if this were to melt or burn or anything else, it wouldn't be really useful for a fire extinguisher. So it's been a few minutes, our crucible is red hot and nothing has happened to our ABC fire extinguishing powder, so we're going to turn this one off. Kind of what we expected, but that's pretty cool. So for our last test, we've got our Tundra fire extinguisher. Like I said before, I know that this is an aerosol can, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a foam spray, but I'm not positive. We're gonna put this to the test up against a marine flare. Now, these are technically chemical fires. None of the extinguishers that we have used today are meant to put out chemical fires. Let's see if they can. Now, this is something that's kind of interesting to note. While there is a huge size difference, this fire extinguisher only has a lasting spray of about 8 to 10 seconds, whereas the Tundra has about 32 seconds of spray time. So while it does have a longer lasting spray, you actually have to be even closer to the fire, so that's a huge downside to one of these. The other ones you can be 5-6 feet away. This one you have to be about 3 feet from the fire to actually put it out. Thankfully, our marine flare is a very contained fire, so I'm safe enough to get that close and see if this is gonna work. Huh. Still going. All right, I would have been very disappointed in this flare if it had gone out because it's a marine flare. Let's try again though. Well, this is interesting. It's not really a foam, it's basically a water. It's definitely a liquid, and it has definitely put out our flare. Liquid foam fire extinguishers versus marine flare, fire extinguisher wins. So these are the fire extinguishers that we use today because they are the most common ones that you're going to find around your house, around your workspaces, but there are actually 5 types of fire extinguishers. These are just the ones that were going to be easiest for us to test and kind of show you what they're gonna do, and the ones that are gonna be most readily available to you. So, your fire extinguishers, are they gonna put out the fires that they're supposed to? Absolutely. Turns out that they can put out a few other things too. Guys, that's not all. We've always got more for you to see. This box up here at the top will take you to our latest video, and that box at the bottom is what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. Hit this bomb in the middle to get subscribed to the club so you never miss out on the fun. Don't forget to ring that bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then.